Okay, so today we're gonna look at the operation of a tire machine. This is the most basic tire machine you can get. A single arm, the rotating table, bead breaker. This one has some bead blasters in the mounts, but it's not super effective. So to operate the tire machine, you have three pedals. The pedal on the right, if you push it down, goes clockwise. If you push the pedal up, goes counterclockwise. The pedal in the middle is going to be actuating the bead breaker arm. The pedal on the left is to move the jaws. So you press one, it closes. When it's closed, you can put your rim. If you press again, it will open the jaws. So I regularly lubricate just the rails and clean them up with just WD-40. You will need a couple of tire irons, and that's all you need to get started to change tires. Let's walk you through dismounting a wheel first. So first step is to bleed the air out. Get yourself one of those little tire tool that looks like a screwdriver to unscrew the valve. That's more convenient than what you can do. Grab the valve. Okay, once you are done removing the valve, the first step is going to be to break the bead. So one thing to be careful, if you have a tire with a tire pressure monitoring sensor, the sensor is just going to be behind it, behind the valve. And if you try to use the bead breaker just in that area, you are going to break the tire pressure monitoring sensor. So usually the best is starting from the opposite side of the valve here. Just put your bead breaker at the edge. And I'm going to press the middle pedal here. Going to contract the arm. I'm going to go around the tire. So here I'm not going to press near the valve, I'm going to stay careful here. That's it. As you can see here, the tire is separating from the rim, but here I don't get too close to the valve. What I'm going to do is, so you will have to use some lube. Here I'm using this lube that you can find on Amazon. And to make sure the tire slides off later properly from the rim, I'm just going to lubricate the edge here. Especially if that's a tire you are going to reuse, you don't want to damage it. So now I'm going to skip the valve area. I'm going to go from the other end here. And now the tire is out on that side. So you can see the tire has popped on that side. So now I'm going to flip the tire over and get started on the inside. As you can see, there is a lip inside of the rim. You have to make sure you push the tire all around over that lip. Otherwise, you won't be able to pull the tire out. If you have wheel weights, it's also a good time to remove them. Otherwise, you can do it later if you are balancing the wheels. I just use a regular scraper to get under the wheel weight. If you had older style wheel like this, usually they provide the machine with those hammers, and so the way it works is that you can see the groove here. You put the tool here like this and you pry at an angle to remove this off the wheel. So if I had a weight here, I would go like this down to pull it out. Now that we break the bead, make sure my jaws are closed here. I'm going to take the tire, put it on the tire machine. Make sure it's resting flat, and then pressing the left pedal to release, and then the jaws flow the rim. So now my rim here is secure. So the first thing to do is to adjust your arm here. So I'm going to bring my arm down until, and I push it all the way down so it contacts the rim, lock it in place. So here you can see my arm is just here at the edge, like this. And then I'm going to lock it just at the right location here so that the arm doesn't move when it gets under pressure. So it's important to just secure that in place. And so now what's important to look is the valve. So what I want is have the valve just slightly past the arm. I'm going to put some lube for at least the first quarter of the tire, because that's the part that's going to get the tire started. And so lube both the rim and the tire. So now you are going to use 2 irons. You see one end has a curved shape, the other one is flat. You take the flat end, you push down so that you can insert the curved end down here. Okay? And here my arm is just here. So the goal now is to push on this way so that we are going to flip the rubber over the rim. So with one arm, I just keep slight pressure here to make sure the tire can go under. With the other iron, I push down to make sure the tire goes under the rim. And if you did a correct job, here the tire will, you will be able to flip this over. This is a very stiff tire. You will see that with low profile tires, so they are a bit harder to do. You can see here my tire is still not over the ball here. So one thing I can do is use my other iron here to help the tire to come over here. So now I can just press here and the tire will come out without damaging the tire pressure monitoring sensor if there was one. So before I remove the second part of the tire, so here you can see my tire is free. I'm going to turn until I arrive. You can see actually this tire has a tire pressure monitoring sensor. So I'm going to go on this side and secure my arm so that sometimes some tire pressure monitoring sensors stick ready out. This one is pretty discreet inside. Curved side of my iron. I'm going to have to put that under the lower part of the tire. So I start from here. So here, if you can see, I already lifted the back part of the tire. That's give me enough room to slide my iron inside. Then I just hold it with my hand at the bottom, and I'm going to lift the whole tire up. Yeah, you can see my tire iron just under there. Yep. So here, I'm just continuing to push until... Same thing, I have to put the rubber over the ball here. If you have a hard time to get the tire over the ball here, one thing you can do is take your second iron just on the edge here and help to pry up like this. And so now you can see my tire is above here, and I just have to rotate the table and get the tire. Okay, so now we have, now the tire is out. So one thing, I can release my arm here, put it aside and get my tire out of the way without any damage. So before putting the next tire, you have to clean the bead. This is a very clean tire here, so I don't add very clean rim, so I don't really have much. Otherwise, take a brush and clean the tire up. So here is my new tire. So before mounting the tire, I have to lube both sides. So make sure you don't forget to lube. And it's really the entire bead, the inside and the edge here. Some tires are harder to install than others. Summer tires will have harder rubber, hot compound racing tires. You will have to mount those in higher temperatures. Snow tires are usually softer, but with age they can get really hard and can crack when you try to mount them. So some tires are directional, some are not, so you have to look if there is an arrow. Some say inside or outside. This one is a directional tire. We have rotation with an arrow, so the arrow points in the direction of travel. A quick trick for directional tires: when you see rotation and you put the tire like this on top of the machine, the rotation points to the side of the car the tire will go on. So arrow to the left, left-hand side tire, arrow to the right, right-hand side tire. So if I wanted to make, right now we're going to mount a left. If I wanted to mount a right, I would have just to flip the tire over. So if the tire has a yellow dot on it, that means it's the lightest point in the tire, and you should align it with the valve here when you mount it. And this way the tire will be more balanced on the wheel. You could also have a red dot. If you have a red dot and a yellow dot, use the red dot instead. The red dot prevails over the yellow. So here we're going to mount this one and align the yellow dot with the valve. The mounting of a tire. First thing to do is, when you have a tire pressure monitoring sensor, always start with the sensor on the opposite side, like here. So my valve is here, my arm is going to come on the opposite side here. You can see arm here, valve over there. If you look at the rim has a lip here. So the goal when we insert the tire is that the tire goes under that lip. I am under, the rubber goes under my arm here. The only thing I'm going to do for this first phase, which is easy, is you just push to keep the tire under the first lip here, and it's going to fall. Super easy. So now I'm going to go back and reset my valve on that side of the tire. Okay, so my valve is here, my tool is on this side. So I have to put the rubber under the ball here. I use a flat end of the tire iron, and the goal is I'm gonna keep putting pressure on the tire so that the bead of the tire goes under the lip of the rim. If the bead of the rim slides on top of the tire, you are going to rip the tire through because it doesn't have enough room to go through. So here, make sure my tire stays under the lip. Press this bit here. If you want, you can help yourself with a second tire iron to make sure, you see here, click, you could hear it go through. And at the end, when you are at this section where the tire is stretched here, you don't stop until the end to insert the tire. There we go. Tire is mounted, and as you can see, the tire popped above the tire pressure monitoring sensor. That's why we start over there, so that the tire never makes contact with the tire pressure monitoring sensor. Yellow dot aligned with my valve here. Putting my tire iron. And you can see my yellow dot aligned with the valve here. You can use this tool. This one was provided with my machine. You can also buy it separately. So what this tool does is that it's going to press down for you like this on the tire. And usually you don't have to do anything after that. Just make sure the tire stays under here. It does pretty much the same if you had an assist arm that would push down. About the same role. One drawback I found, if you have a tire that is welly tight, these things tend to push down and can damage the tire if you are tires that are welly to the tight specs to the rim. So now the tire is set on the rim. Some machines come with their own air supply. I just use tire pressure gauge. So I don't have any valve in. There is no valve yet that has been installed. And you should not try to pop the tire on the rim with a valve in. And the same thing, we are never going to stop until the whole tire has popped. So here I have my tire inflator. I'm going to put pressure. You are going to hear two pop, one at the bottom, one at the top. That was the bottom, and you will see the top when it pops. Getting close, pop. So here the tire is seated. We use 28 psi. Some tires have maximum pressure, like max inflation pressure, like 51 psi. So you shouldn't really go over that when you are seating the tire. If you are using competition tires like hard gravel, compound racing tires, sometimes it takes over 100 psi to seat them. If you had any damage to the rim or to the bead of the tire, sometimes you will get a leak. And so you can use bead sealer, some sealant that will go here on the bead of the tire and clog the hole. Especially if you are doing rallycross and you want to prevent some dirt to get between the rim and the tire, you can coat that either on the rim or on the bead of the tire itself before mounting. Just be careful when the tire is going to pop on the bead. If you have put a lot of sealant, the sealant will fly. You can see my ceiling over there has some traces of bead sealant from previous installations. So just be mindful where eyeglass or cover the rim before it pops. I'm preparing my valve with my tool here, and just gonna insert the valve and tighten it. Now I can do my fine adjustments to my final tire pressure. And that's all there is to it, to mount a tire, dismount and mount a tire with a basic machine. The previous tire was a skinnier sidewall, run flat tire, very, very stiff sidewall. That's why they were hard to remove. Now I'm going to show you a winter tire. That's SUV size with a 50 sidewall, so much more flex you can see in the sidewall. And you are going to see how much easier it is. You can see much faster, much easier with a flexible sidewall.